Former US President Donald Trump has been charged with attempting to overturn his 2020 election defeat in the state of Georgia. It is the fourth criminal case brought against him in as many months. Mr. Trump, who is the leading Republican candidate for president in 2024, was indicted along with 18 other allies. He denies all 13 charges against him, which include racketeering and election meddling. He has said they are politically motivated. Georgia prosecutor Fani Willis first launched an investigation in February 2021 into allegations of election meddling against Mr. Trump and his associates. In a 98-page indictment made public late on Monday, prosecutors listed 41 charges against the 19 defendants. Ms. Willis announced she was giving defendants the opportunity to voluntarily surrender no later than noon on Friday, 25 August. She said she plans to try all 19 accused together. The list of alleged co-conspirators includes former Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and former White House lawyer John Eastman. Others include a former Justice Department official, Jeffrey Clark, and Sidney Powell and Jenna Ellis, two Trump lawyers who amplified unfounded claims of widespread voter fraud. The indictment says the defendants knowingly and willfully joined a conspiracy to unlawfully change the outcome of the election in favor of Trump. The former president is accused of the following felony counts, including violating Georgia's Racketeering Act, solicitation of violation of oath by public officer, conspiracy to impersonate a public officer, conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, false statements and writings, and filing false documents. The indictment refers to the defendants as a criminal organization, accusing them of other crimes including influencing witnesses, computer trespass, theft, and perjury. The most serious charge, violating the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO Act, is punishable by a maximum of 20 years in prison. The act designed to help take down organized criminal syndicates like the mafia, helps prosecutors connect the dots between underlings who broke laws and those who gave them orders. There was confusion earlier on Monday when a list of criminal charges against Mr. Trump appeared on a Fulton County website before the grand jury had voted to return an indictment. The filing said Mr. Trump had been charged with racketeering, conspiracy to commit fraud, and making false statements. A spokesperson for Ms. Willis said the document was fictitious but did not explain how it ended up on the court's website. Mr. Trump and his allies seized on the apparent clerical error to claim the process was rigged. Earlier this month, Mr. Trump was charged by federal prosecutors in Washington, D.C. with conspiring to overturn the 2020 election, which he lost to President Joe Biden, a Democrat. That charge sheet devoted significant time to the Trump team's activities in Georgia. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty in that case. Ms. Willis's investigation focuses specifically on Georgia, a key battleground state for the U.S. presidency that Mr. Trump narrowly lost. In January 2021, Mr. Trump was recorded on a phone call asking Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find 11,780 votes, the number he would have required to beat Mr. Biden in that state. The indictment outlines an alleged scheme to tamper with voting machines in one Georgia county and steal data. It also mentions an alleged scheme to submit false lists of electors officials who make up the electoral college that elects the president and vice president. There are key differences between state charges such as those in Georgia and federal ones. Significantly, if Mr. Trump were to become president again in 2024, he would not have the power to pardon himself from state charges. Mr. Trump also faces a New York State trial on 25 March next year involving a hush money payment to a porn star. And he is due to go on trial in Florida on 20 May on allegations related to his handling of classified documents found at his Mar-a-Lago residence after his presidency. In both cases, Mr. Trump also pleaded not guilty.